Imagine walking into two restaurants. The first one is chaotic. Orders are delayed. Employees look stressed. Customers are complaining. Food keeps getting sent back to the kitchen. Now imagine the second restaurant. Orders arrive on time. The food is consistent. Customers leave happy. The employees aren't working harder. They're simply working smarter. That's exactly what Lean Six Sigma helps organizations do. It isn't just for factories. It's used by hospitals, banks, airlines, governments, restaurants, and even small businesses. In the next 15 minutes, I'll explain one of the world's most successful improvement systems, as direct and simple as possible, without complicated formulas, and without making both our brains hurt. Let's get started. Let me ask you a question. Why do organizations make mistakes? Is it because employees are lazy? Sometimes, but surprisingly, that's usually not the main reason. Imagine you own a small bakery. Your employees arrive early. They work hard. They care about customers. Yet every day, orders are delayed, ingredients run out, cakes are decorated incorrectly, and customers leave unhappy. Should you replace your employees? Maybe not, because the real problem might be the process, not the people. That's one of the biggest ideas behind Lean Six Sigma. Instead of asking who made the mistake, it asks, why did the system allow the mistake to happen? That's a completely different way of thinking. Great organizations don't spend all their time fixing people. They spend their time improving processes. And when the process improves, people naturally perform better. Lean was developed by Toyota in Japan after World War II. At that time, Toyota didn't have the money, factories, or resources that American car companies had. So instead of asking, how do we build more cars? Toyota asked something much smarter. How do we remove everything that doesn't help the customer? That's Lean. Imagine you order pizza. You're happy to pay for fresh ingredients, great taste, and fast delivery. But would you pay extra because the employee spent 10 minutes looking for the cheese? Probably not. Would you pay because workers had to walk across the kitchen 20 times? Of course not. That's called waste. Lean teaches us that customers only want to pay for activities that actually create value. Everything else should either be reduced, simplified, or eliminated. Lean isn't about making people work faster. It's about removing the things that slow them down. If Lean removes waste, Six Sigma removes mistakes. It was developed by Motorola during the 1980s after the company realized defects were costing millions of dollars every year. Later, General Electric helped make Six Sigma famous by using it across the company to improve quality and save billions in costs. Imagine buying a brand new phone. You expect it to work the moment you turn it on. You don't expect 1 out of every 10 phones to have a broken screen, or every 20th phone to stop charging after a week. Customers expect consistency. Six Sigma helps organizations understand why mistakes happen, instead of simply fixing them after they've already occurred. It uses facts, data, and careful analysis to reduce defects and improve consistency. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is to make good quality happen again, and again, and again. So now you know the difference. Lean asks, how can we eliminate unnecessary work? Six Sigma asks, how can we reduce mistakes? Put them together, and you create one of the world's most effective improvement systems. Here's an easy way to remember it. Imagine you're driving to work. Lean clears the traffic so you can move faster. Six Sigma helps you stay in your lane, so you arrive safely and consistently. Together, you get there faster with fewer problems, less stress, and a better experience. That's exactly what organizations want. Better quality, lower costs, faster delivery, happier customers, and employees who spend less time fighting problems, and more time creating value. In the next few minutes, we'll explore the practical tools that make Lean Six Sigma work, including the famous 8 wastes, DMAIC, 5 whys, and Kaizen. And you'll see that they're much simpler than they sound. One of the biggest ideas in Lean is that not all work creates value. In fact, organizations lose millions of dollars every year doing work that customers don't even care about. Lean identifies 8 common types of waste. Let's look at them quickly. Transportation means moving products or materials more than necessary. Every extra move takes time and creates opportunities for damage. Inventory means keeping more supplies or products than you actually need. Too much inventory ties up money and takes up valuable space. Motion is unnecessary movement by people. Imagine walking across the office 5 times because the printer is on the other side of the building. Waiting happens whenever people, machines, or customers are forced to wait. Waiting creates no value. Overproduction means making more than customers need or making it too early. Unsold products become wasted money. Overprocessing means doing more work than necessary. Think of entering the same information into 3 different computer systems. Defects are mistakes that require repair, replacement, or rework. Every defect costs time and money. Finally, unused talent. This may be the biggest waste of all. Great ideas often come from the people doing the work every day. If leaders don't listen, organizations lose innovation before it even begins. Here's one of the simplest questions in Lean Six Sigma. Would the customer willingly pay for this activity? If the answer is yes, it's probably creating value. Cooking your meal? Absolutely. Preparing fresh ingredients? Yes. Serving you politely? Definitely. But what about waiting 10 minutes because the cook can't find the spatula? Would you pay extra for that? Probably not. What about entering the same customer information 3 different times? Or printing documents nobody reads? Those activities consume time, but they don't create value. Lean teaches organizations to spend more time doing what customers actually value and less time doing everything else. That's one reason companies become faster without asking employees to work harder. So, how do companies actually solve problems? They don't usually guess. They follow a structured process called DMAIC. Think of it as a roadmap. The first step is define. What exactly is the problem? Not what we think the problem is, but what is actually happening. Next is measure. Before changing anything, collect facts. How often does a problem occur? How long does it take? How much does it cost? Then comes analyze. This is where teams ask, what's really causing the problem? After that, improve. Try solutions. Test them. See what works. Finally, control. Because solving the problem once isn't enough. The improvement must continue even after the project ends. DMAIC keeps organizations from jumping to conclusions before they understand what's actually wrong. Let's see how DMAIC works in real life. Imagine a coffee shop where customers complain that it takes 15 minutes to get their drinks. The owner could immediately buy another coffee machine. But what if the coffee machine isn't the real problem? Instead, they use DMAIC. First, define. Customers are waiting too long. Then, measure. Time every step. Surprisingly, making the coffee only takes 4 minutes. The remaining 11 minutes are spent waiting for cups, ingredients, and payment. Next, analyze. The real problem isn't the machine. It's the layout of the shop. So they rearrange the workstations. That's the improved step. Finally, they continue measuring waiting times every week. That's control. Instead of buying expensive equipment, they solve the problem simply by improving the process. Imagine asking someone for directions, but they don't have a map. That's what many organizations do every day. They try to improve a process without first understanding how it actually works. That's why Lean Six Sigma uses something called process mapping. A process map is simply a picture of every step in a process. It shows where work begins, where decisions are made, where delays happen, and where mistakes are most likely to occur. Once you can see the entire process, waste becomes much easier to identify. Sometimes organizations discover they have dozens of unnecessary steps that nobody ever questioned. One simple map can reveal problems that have been hiding for years. That's why Lean Six Sigma believes one important principle. You can't improve what you don't fully understand. Imagine you have a headache. You take a painkiller. The headache disappears. But what if the real problem is dehydration? Tomorrow, the headache comes back. That's exactly what happens in many organizations. They fix the symptom, but never solve the real problem. Lean Six Sigma uses a simple technique called the 5 whys. You simply keep asking why. Let's say a machine suddenly stops working. Why? Because a bearing failed. Why did the bearing fail? Because it wasn't lubricated properly. Why wasn't it lubricated? Because maintenance was missed. Why was maintenance missed? Because there was no preventive maintenance schedule. Notice what happened. The problem wasn't really the broken machine. The real problem was the maintenance system. That's the power of the 5 whys. Great problem solvers don't stop at the first answer. They keep asking questions until they uncover the real cause. Here's one mistake many organizations make. They solve problems based on opinions. Someone says, "I think this is a problem." Another person says, "I don't agree." Soon, everyone is debating, but nobody has any evidence. Lean Six Sigma teaches us something different. Measure first. Imagine a supermarket where customers complain about long checkout lines. One manager says, "We need more cashiers." Another says, "Customers just arrive all at once." Instead of guessing, the team measures. They discover that the biggest delay isn't paying. It's scanning damaged barcodes. That's something they never would have discovered by arguing. Facts remove emotion. Data turns opinions into decisions. That's why Lean Six Sigma says, "In God we trust." Everyone else brings data. That famous quote is often associated with quality pioneer W. Edwards Deming, although its exact origin is debated. Regardless of who first said it, the message remains powerful. Use evidence to make better decisions. One of my favorite ideas in Lean comes from Japan. It's called Kaizen. Kaizen simply means continuous improvement, not one giant improvement. Small improvements made consistently. Think about learning to play the guitar. If you practice for just 15 minutes every day, after 1 year, you'll be dramatically better. The same is true for organizations. If every employee finds one small improvement each week, imagine what happens after 1 year. Hundreds of improvements, better quality, lower costs, happier customers. That's why Kaizen isn't about being perfect. It's about always asking, how can we make this just a little better tomorrow? Small improvements, repeated consistently, eventually create extraordinary results. Some people think Lean Six Sigma is only for manufacturing. That's no longer true. Today, hospitals use it to reduce patient waiting times and improve the accuracy of care. Banks use it to speed up loan approvals and reduce processing errors. Airlines use it to improve safety, maintenance, and on-time performance. Restaurants use it to reduce food waste and improve service speed. Government agencies use it to simplify services for citizens. Software companies use it to improve development processes and reduce defects before products are released. Even schools can apply lean thinking by simplifying administrative work and reducing unnecessary paperwork. The tools may change, the technology may change, but the questions remain the same. Where is the waste? Why are mistakes happening? How can we improve the process? That's why Lean Six Sigma continues to be relevant in almost every industry. So, what have we learned? Lean Six Sigma isn't about complicated statistics. It isn't about expensive software. And it certainly isn't about making people work harder. At its heart, Lean Six Sigma is about solving problems intelligently. It teaches us to remove waste, reduce mistakes, understand the real causes of problems, use facts instead of assumptions, and improve a little every day. Whether you're managing a factory, running a restaurant, leading a project, working in a hospital, or simply organizing your own daily routine, the same principles apply. Better processes create better results. And perhaps the biggest lesson of all is this: great organizations don't become excellent because they have extraordinary people. They become excellent because ordinary people are supported by extraordinary processes. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next TIV Quick Learn episode. And if you'd like to keep learning, visit the TIV Learning Library, where you'll find free articles, templates, guides, and practical tools on leadership, project management, lean, AI, communication, negotiation, and many more professional development topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could give a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue creating practical, straightforward learning content. And if you're looking for more free templates, articles, tools, and training resources, visit the TIV Learning Library. We built it to help professionals, leaders, trainers, and organizations keep learning and improving. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.